story, folks. I'm just comparing the ground garden bed to the raised garden bed and my pak choi. Have a look at this. It's been destroyed. I'm not going to see any snails. Could be birds, it could be anything really. There's no caterpillars. Look at all the holes in it. Looks like snails. Definitely snails, but that was planted the same time as that. Same soil. It's just because it's raised, it drained. Look at the size of these little beauties. How cool is that? Twice the size. Oh, I'm going to kill my mum. She got to them already. The spring onion hasn't even grown. She's already harvested. Look at this. She's destroyed them. Oh, I'm gobsmacked. Look at that. I can't believe that. Everything else is fine. That's what I want to talk about this morning. If you live in Melbourne, Victoria, forget about the ISO. That's what I'm here about. It's the wind. How high was the wind this morning? How extreme it was. And I haven't tied my broad beans up. And I haven't come to have a look now. This is dead. That's going to get composted. Oh, destruction. Look. Oh, my Lord. It's just blown them over. Destroyed them. Well, it hasn't destroyed them, but I've got to get in here and tie them up. So that was going to be my job yesterday because we knew the winds were coming, but we didn't get around to it because Mama was watering, harvesting, and we got excited. So we started eating. Anyway, let's tie them up. If you've got broad beans, before they start setting their fruit, or their broad beans, the pods that is, you need to tie them up. I'm going to put one on a perimeter on the outside, bring them in together, but I'm going to have to get one in between here, a string across here to the other side to raise them back up because they can't be leaning over like that. 100k winds, that's what they were predicting, and they got it. That's what we got here. Knocked these over. Everything else seems okay. Thank God for the Eco Boost and Liquid Gold. I'm just using bamboo canes. And it's soft enough to push in by hand, like that. Should have put him in a lot earlier, folks, because what happens is when the roots grow really big, I mean, I'm not going to do a lot of damage, but sometimes there's a possibility you're going to land right on one of the main arteries, roots that is. All right, I've just put in 6 bamboo poles or canes. Now, I'm going to put one around the perimeter, but predominantly it's the south side here because in northerly winds, you can see what's happened. It's all fallen that way. Normally it'd be leaning towards the sun, but these winds are so high, these poor plants don't stand a chance against them. But I'm going to actually, you know what? I'm going to feed it through each plant and tie it back up. That's the best way, I think, here, because they're all leaning over too much. And then I'll put one around the perimeter. Typical Victorian weather. One bad day and everything gets destroyed, and you wouldn't even pick it this morning, like now from what happened this morning. I should have had the cameras rolling earlier to show you, for those who don't live in Victoria. Whatever they predict in Melbourne, as far as wind speed is concerned, you can almost double it for where we are. Fun and games. That's the first row. I was warned by the non-gardeners of the household, so you should be tying those up, I think, because they look like they're going to fall over. And here I'm going, yeah, no worries, I'll get around to it. Well, that's the first batch. And now we try and work on the second batch. Yeah, Mama's done a runner on me. So come and help me. She goes, no, I'm busy cooking. That's as good as it gets for now, folks, considering the top heavy that they are and those huge winds we had. If you've gone through this sort of experience, what you need to do is tie them up. It doesn't matter what type of plant it is. Go for a walk around your garden after high winds and clean them up and straighten them up, because what happens is the roots become dislodged and they get damaged and they start stressing out. So this may actually cause them to set fruit, which is great, but I need to liquid feed them as well. So after you finish tying them up, give them a helping hand with some Eco Boost and Liquid Gold. The two best fertilizers, liquid fertilizers you'll ever find for your plants. And I might have to stop giving it to Cara, because every time I start talking about it, you two, attention seekers, that's all you are. Kara's Eco Boost and Jack's Liquid Gold, by the way. Inseparable. Wow, it's even broken the kale. Look at it, it's knocked it down. But I'm not going to pull it out yet. You can see it's gone to flower, so I want it to go to seed because I want to harvest that seed. The next year, if I plant that seed, it'll be even better, stronger plant, more tolerant, more resilient to this sort of weather that we have because it'll know what to expect. It's amazing how plants do that. And I've got to work out how to stop the birds digging up and taking the mulch away. Look at this. That ain't the wind. Yeah, it is a bit of wind, but that's digging too. Look at this. Hey, rich soil. It's a tiny little citrus tree, but come summertime, by summertime this should be double in size. I'm going to show you a couple of things. The seedlings and the citrus tree we planted there versus the ones that are planted in the shady area that are protected. Have a look at what it's done to my tree. This is my lemon tree that I've been nursing and nurturing in the protected environment with the graft on it. Have a look at it. It looks like one of those 1980s split ends hairstyle. Blow waved to one direction, stripped on the one side, shaved on the one side and long on the other. I can't believe it. High winds. I can't believe it. You know, and I've protected it. I've got the raised bed, it's got all the liquid fertilizer. Just nothing you can do about that. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I've had enough of this. I'm going to stick a couple of poles in here around it and I'm going to get the pallet wrapping or the glad wrap and create a little mini hothouse for it. It's the only way I'm going to protect this so I can get a fighting chance to grow and adapt to this weather. The other one's adapted, even though it looks like it's a really rough looking tree, the orange tree, sorry, it looks really rough, like it's not been looked after. That's just its acclimatization. That's its response to the kind of weather we got out here. Anyway, come and have a look at the other ones. Look at that. I pruned these younger ones down here, but the other ones I haven't. Irises have come out, the catmint's taken off. It's beautiful. It's really starting to show well. This has copped it a bit up here because it gets the wind from there, but the other ones, which are just a little bit lower, are fine. But still, they're fine. They haven't had a water. Everything's starting to grow beautifully, even the weeds. This is what it is about protecting your plants. So you can be the best gardener in the world or even just a lazy gardener. It really depends on the microclimate you got in your garden. If you've got a nice environment, you know, you can just stick it in the ground and forget about it and the tree thrives, and we call it green thumbs. Whereas some of us try super hard, but we just don't have the right environment for it. Or it's just not suited for that type of plant, like the open areas that we have there with the citrus out there. And I'm going to persist with it because I do want it to grow out there. I want my citrus trees out there as well. But I've got a little grove here of citrus, mandarins and oranges and limes. So as we walk past here, we can just pick and eat as we go. The aim is to be able to pick every day something different and enjoy a piece of fruit each day of the year. And a bit of colour as well. Even the parsley and the wheelbarrows copped them beating. Eco Boost and Liquid Gold, folks. You ain't going to find two better fertilisers to kick boost your garden. For those who've tried it, let us know what you reckon. Northerly winds, killing it. Southerly side, gorgeous. A little bit of a feed with a broken rose watering can. We don't throw anything out here. We try and use it until it's turned to dust. And this is what I use to water my big plants. The problem I have with this watering can is that when I go to water my seedlings, it flattens them out. But I found something new that I can use on them now. I'm going to show you. Have a look at this. The watering we do here. Mama came out this morning and I caught her watering with the hose with no soft spray on the end of it. And look what she's done to them. Flattened them. They've gone that way. There's no wind in here. Right? These have been flattened by the watering. And it's so important that when you water your young seedlings that you don't wet them too much. It's okay when you've got a liquid fertilizer to give them a dose in the morning, but ideally you don't want to be wetting the foliage because you may, you know, there's a higher chance of getting a disease like a mildew developing on it and all things like that. So what I've got here is my little plastic drink bottle, but I've also got this little rosette on top. How cool is this? Now, I reckon some of you have seen these already. Tiny little holes. And you just go around to each little plant and squeeze a little bit in there like that. Have a look at that. That is fantastic. That hasn't germinated, obviously. These have been watered. My mother drenched them. She missed these ones at the back here. So look at that. You can water the seedling so easily, exactly where it needs it in the roots, without wetting the seedling and causing disease to develop. And put your Eco Boost in there and liquid gold, and they get a burst of fertilizer at the same time. Yeah, these ones are dried up. This is so cool. You'll find these on our website, and along with a lot of other great products that you can get for your garden to get yourself ready for this springtime, folks. So for more information and great products like this, and especially Eco Boost and Liquid Gold, go to vasilisgarden.com. From me, Vasili, Maresi.